there is a special algorithm that allows that change the complexity of calculations for the blocks to leave it in the same level. So, like for the Bitcoin, 10 minutes, and Ethereum, it's the same.
Sorry,
same
I meant on the data storage side.
Sorry?
You said like the problem with increasing the block size is it makes the data storage for anyone running a node bigger.
Yes, if we put more blocks, it's also increased at the same time the volume, but it also decreases the security of the network. That's why nobody want to do this. So that's a good question. Yeah, feel free to ask any question during the time. So I would like to know about what you care about and what you know. Yes. Yeah.
When I was in the San Francisco blockchain week, Vitalik and Carl were talking about a lot about scalability, but it doesn't seem also reflected on the Ethereum price. Like I'm a big fan of Ethereum and its community, but it was reflected strongly on the price, the confidence of people in the timing of releasing the scalability. And when I saw Vitalik and Carl talking about Plasma, Casper, and all the scalability initiatives, it didn't seem like they really figured out yet what they're really doing and when. So how do you see that affecting the community and affecting the price and affecting investors who want to get involved in it?
Yeah, great question. Again, there is a question in that we have Ethereum Foundation talks that one of the most mining farms comes and tech guys, and there was a proposal to decrease the amount of mining reward, to make it. But it's like time bomb. If you know, there is probably time bombing. If we so the mining farms definitely doesn't want to decrease the block reward and make it scalable, because the mining farms start to get the less ether with these approaches, and there is this conflict of interest. The Vitalik want to make it faster, but mining farms doesn't want to lose the revenue. And if we do this scale solution, the nodes just switch to another blockchains, and it will be very dramatically affect the security, for example. Yeah, so this is they try to argue.
Would that conflict of interest be solved if Ethereum switched to proof of stake?
Yeah, it's same thing. With the proof of stake, there is a lot of mining becomes not. There's not needed so much power computations and power of the computation. And then the nodes start to switch to another, for example, for Bitcoin, because it starts to get not
very
profitable. Exactly, and so this is another thing why Ethereum doesn't want to switch now for proof of stake, and they start to find the trade-off between these approaches.
I actually heard a rumor that the Casper implementation will happen in 1 or 2 months' time. Is it true?
So sorry, it's implemented?
Casper
Casper
implementation. I heard a rumor that it's going to happen soon. Is it true?
He's going. Sorry.
The Casper implementation is going to happen soon.
Happen soon. Yeah. It's another rumor. They implemented on Dreamcabby and it was failed. Yes. So something goes wrong and they just do card fork, but it doesn't work now. So yes, there is not a rumors in the Eth research. It's public release, and all the Ethereum community know about this. But it's failed, and they try to fix this problem. So they will start to implement it in the test network again, maybe in a couple of months. But yes, it's so far between it will be released on the main network. Yeah.
Can you just talk about the health of the Ethereum community over the course of the last year? Because I assume during the when Ethereum went from $100 to $1,400, even the core developers who've been on the project for a long time must have been excited on some level, and like belief in what was happening and what you guys were doing must have increased. And so I just wonder what's happened in the community over the last year as it continues as the market continues to drop.
Yeah, about the whole community, I start from the general. Like there is a whole blockchain community, and there is different branches like Bitcoin and Ethereum. This is the two most of them. Another one is EOS. They start to build community, but it's quite small. And the Ethereum just the true Ethereum guys hates and says there is a Bitcoin maximalist, and they don't like this type of people. What I can say, the Ethereum has the most, one of the biggest and most stronger community. They are very friendly, they are very open to help. For example, we do a lot of research. We just post on @research, is the forum with all the technical stuff that comes from the minds, and people start to collaborate on very high level, very easy. If you send the same thing to Bitcoin, so they just leave it as is, and nobody cares too much about what you propose. So Ethereum goes very quickly, and EOS start to build communities. They try to hire the Ethereum developers because they have a lot of money, but it's very hard to just hire people, because if they true believer in Ethereum, they still in Ethereum. And when EOS get one step, Ethereum gets 10 steps. That's how I see it. And Bitcoin goes very good, but very slow. So they also have in beta for 3 years kind of smart contracts. So they want to implement at some time the smart contract system. So then Bitcoin can do approximately the same like Ethereum. But until they will release it, Ethereum will do 10 steps more, 5 steps more in comparison with Bitcoin. So they will increase the scalability and so on. So Ethereum goes in front, as I can see from the whole blockchain community.
But what is the mood?
There's a lot of development events. It seems like for Ethereum developers, lots of people went to DevCon. EdCon is happening in Sydney next year in April, which I'd like to be part of. And it just, to me, it seems like, and I know people that went to DevCon, and it seems like there's still a lot of enthusiasm for it. Whereas the other communities, you don't see it as much, because you go to a lot of all these development events and they are frequent.
Yes, I'm completely forgot this. I'm just I meet the developers conference, and I forgot that not everybody as me goes there. Yes, what I want to say, when I go to the hackathons, there is a huge network that people doesn't say that they are Ethereum developers, but actually they completely decentralized. They have the big nests in Berlin, in Singapore, in San Francisco, but most of the community work in other companies. Sometimes these companies even doesn't relate it to the blockchain, some fintech, and they support all the people who contribute in the system. So the community is very strong, it's decentralized, so it's very hard to...
Well, to me, I just seem like the Ethereum development network is a lot stronger than the other ecosystems. Because there are so many events, and there are thousands of people that go.
Exactly.
And they'll continue to go.
And a lot of developers sometimes, sometimes it's very hard to predict who is the Ethereum developer, but when you can start to talk, you realize that guy that you told that is some random developer, he worked on Solidity and implement the last feature that I do. So same with me, nobody knows what I do, but my mobile library is implemented in the more than 100 D apps now. That works on mobile, there is my library. And when they realize it, wow, let's go together. Yes, and they do a lot of proposals to my library as well. I'm pretty impressed about this, because they get their contribution to my library as well and start to grow even faster without any investment inside from of time or money. They just do it, just build it. Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, yeah. Let's go with this. Yeah. You go first.
Just a quick question on the different communities. Is it the case that you take like sort of the Bitcoin community versus Ethereum, and like sort of Bitcoin being slower, etc., Ethereum being more collaborative? Is it also like a reflection of just the different priorities of the different chains, and like, you know, EOS obviously emphasizing like speed and then sacrificing a little bit of decentralization? Trent and my fund invested in light streams that's going to like emphasize speed and storage. Privacy and storage. Like, is it the case that like does maximalism even make sense from a developer's perspective, or is it like a winners take most, winners take all effect? Because there is a lot of like VCs that come in with like the startup mindset, and it's like, you know, you got to invest in the one that's going to be the monopoly and this that, or is it like actually there's going to be a heterogeneous communities of different like developers trying to solve different things, and like you're gonna have like lots of different chains and that kind of stuff.
So in this case, I think like Bitcoin goes very. They feel good now because they just reach. And Bitcoin never proposed schemes as like something more than cryptocurrency, like e-commerce.
Yeah.
And Ethereum now, they are in rush. They realize that if they not invent something super, like if they not reach pass this gap between fintech and Ethereum that now happens, so they will stuck, and now they're really in rush like startup.
Yeah.
And this is like Bitcoin, like enterprise system. They go slow because they reach all that they want already.
Okay.
And
So they wanna be more
Ethereum like
conservative,
go
yeah.
startup and do a lot of things because of that. But with all of this stuff, they still have like a great R&D department and a lot of entrepreneurs who was like 30 years in IT, so they know how to do the solid system. Yes. Yeah. Question.
So, that's my understanding is unique because it has an element where you get punished.
Can you please speak
Okay,
up?
louder.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So, Casper, to my understanding, has a unique element where you get punished for malicious activity. Can you explain that a little bit more?
About
The proof of stake. So you can get your proof of stake can get slashed in that sense.
about how proof of stake gets. Yeah. So proof of stake, there is a the problems of the proof of stake, right? Oh,
Yeah. The fact that you get punished
Yeah.
for any malicious activity, and is it possible to gamify that? Malicious, bad activity. You do nothing,
Yeah.
or you don't contribute,
Yeah.
and your stake gets slashed.
Yes.
Just for information.
It's different approach, yes, with this activity. It's actually they try to solve the algorithm, the mathematical algorithm, how it should work. And what I can say is it's not. There is a game theory how to implement the solid system, and that nobody can cheat or just dominate on this system. For now, it's there is no the proven that algorithm, that Casper. There is a like delegate proof of stake is EOS approach that nobody, every community they don't like it because it goes centralized, very centralized and not. There is some nodes that can control which transactions will pass through and which is not. So the whole benefits of the blockchain goes to nothing with this state. With the same thing, you can go with proof of authority, and it will be the same, but more clear, because with the delegate proof of stake, you don't know who control